How did ancient people gradually invent the wind and rain bridge? In order to cross a river, you placed a single log across it. And just like that, the single plank bridge was invented. But in reality, it's difficult to find a log long enough. So being clever, you cut away half of the top ends of two logs. One end was carved into a raised tignon, and the other into a recessed mortise. This allowed the two logs to fit tightly together. They could no longer be separated up and down, only left and right. Next, you drilled a vertical hole through the overlapping section, and inserted a perfectly shaped wooden peg. Now the logs could not be separated left or right either. This was the mortise and tenon joint secured with a peg. However, even after connecting enough logs to make a long bridge, the single log bridge still had a fatal flaw. You could easily fall off while walking. So you placed multiple logs side by side and tied them tightly together with rope, forming a wider surface. Walking became much safer, but the uneven surfaces between the logs could still cause someone to twist an ankle. So you laid a layer of flat wooden planks on top, creating a simple wooden plank bridge. Yet when too many people stepped onto the bridge, it risked bending and collapsing. You realized you could add piers underneath to support the bridge deck. Wooden piers, however, were easily washed away by strong current. So you switched to stone piers and polished both ends into rounded arches to reduce the impact of flowing water. The piers brought another advantage, like you no longer needed extremely long logs. Shorter logs could simply rest on top of the piers, connected firmly using mortise and tenon joints instead of rope. This made the structure much stronger. After completing the bridge deck, you added railings on both sides using horizontal beams and posts for safety. All exposed wood was coated with tung oil to waterproof and protect it from decay. Thus, you created an upgraded 10-ton wooden plank bridge. But soon you discovered that even with tung oil, wood still rotted quickly under long-term sun and rain exposure. Fortunately, this did not defeat your ingenuity. You built a long covered corridor over the bridge. Its roof shielded the structure from wind and rain, greatly extending its lifespan. And so, the basic covered bridge was born. However, this design only worked for rivers where boats did not pass through. If built on busy waterways, too many piers would obstruct navigation. So, once again, you innovated. You replaced numerous small piers with fewer larger ones. The gaps between the stones were filled with sticky rice mortar, a mixture of glutinous rice soup and lime, bonding the stones into a solid whole. The ends of the piers were shaped into pointed water-splitting forms to reduce the force of the current. Above the piers, you laid bamboo layers and extended wooden bracket supports. The timbers were still firmly connected with mortise and tenon joints, forming a unique deep beam structure. This design reduced the distance between piers, making it easier to lay the upper bridge deck. It also raised the height of the bridge, allowing boats to pass more easily while greatly enhancing its load-bearing capacity. Above, besides the protective corridor, you could even build pavilions aligned with each deep beam section. These added downward weight, stabilizing the entire bridge like Mount Tai, strong and resistant to overturning. When free, pedestrians could stand in the pavilions to enjoy the scenery and drink tea. And thus, you invented the Wind and Rain Bridge, a masterpiece of bridge construction created by the Dong ethnic group and other southern minorities, hailed as one of the 10 most incredible bridges in the world.